Foul by Hoquiam, number 11, Xander dropped his first. The line to shoot number 2, Joey Garcia.
Hoquiam 21-4 turnover advantage for the Hoquiam Grizzlies has them out to a 59-34 lead over the Aberdeen Bobcats. And studio producer Ross Davidson. Glad to be with you here. Be sure to join us in 10 days' time as we'll take a little bit of a break, but then be back on the 22nd as the Montesano ladies make their KWOK debut this season. They travel to Tumwater for a massive matchup against one of the perennial 2A powers in Southwest Washington and Washington women's basketball, actually. Should be a good one. Daniel will have the call on that one coming up on the 22nd of December. And it's a holiday break, and then we're back on the other side of it. The Bobcats will start the fourth quarter with possession. Bobcats let a long shot go. I think they got it off before the foul was called. Owen McNeil, the guilty party. And again, that was not a non-shooting foul. And Joey Bozic will check back into the game. Bozic, a nice game for the freshman. 2 steals, 2 rebounds, or 2 assists. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal for the freshman. Julian Garcia going to the line to shoot. They did not count the basket, so Garcia will try to hit the scoreboard for the first time from the free throw line. He leaves a shot off the front iron, no good. Joey Bozic will check in. And Jake Templer will check out. Next free throw is up. It's off the back iron, no good. Bobcats really struggled from the free throw line here today. They do get the rebound, however. Garcia actually got his own rebound on that one. Good effort for the kid. Senior. Aiden Baker with it. Come over to Grady Springer. Over to Baylor Ainsworth. Dribbling in all the way, trying to pass in low, and it goes over the head of everybody and over the baseline and out of bounds, and the Bobcats will head back down on defense. Grizzlies in possession with the lead. Lorton Watkins will push it up from right to left. Pass it off over to Joey Bozich. Back over to Lorton Watkins. Dribbles into the right side. Picks up his dribble. Tries to pass it outside. Finds McNeil. McNeil dribbling it all the way. And a charge going to be called. Player control foul against McNeil. His third personal. 19th foul. Baylor Ainsworth will push it up from left to right for the Bobcats. Gets it over to Aiden Baker. Baker takes it in, going all the way from the left side. Hangs it, can't finish. Rebound knocked up into the air. Lorton Watkins had it, and the Bobcats came down, knocked it out of his hands. It goes over the sidelines right in front of the Bobcat bench, or the Bobcat band, and they are letting their discussion be heard. Grizzlies come back. Lorton Watkins over to jump to Bozich and a whistle. A little chippy now with the game pretty well decided in the last quarter being played. Garcia was the guilty party on the foul. The inbounds are being handled by Hobucket. Hobucket goes outside. Lorton Watkins over to Joey Bozich for three. And Joey Bozich gets a nice hand as he comes to the bench. The freshman feeling it. He gets a nice ovation as he comes over, as he has the Grizzlies out to a 62-34 lead over the Aberdeen Bobcats. Full timeout on the floor taken by the Bobcats. We'll take a 30-second break on the air. You're listening to high school basketball on 1490 KWOK. Turnovers.
One of the biggest Hoquiam's on turnover overall.
Yeah, exactly. Well, turnovers are telling the story in more than one way. A, the Aberdeen Bobcats are committing them, and B, the Hoquiam Grizzlies aren't. Only 4 turnovers for Hoquiam as they have taken very good care of the ball. They have spread it around, have gotten everyone in. It's a pretty even rebounding night, but the Grizzlies do have the rebounding advantage. Here's a 3-ball on the way. That's well short by Aiden Baker. And the fans start to let him hear about that. But before the Grizzlies can come back and transition, there is a foul going to be called against the Bobcats. That is going to be 5 fouls called now against the Bobcats. Hale, the guilty party, is first personal. Here come the Grizzlies. Lorton Watkins moving it ahead. Getting it to Bozich, who just hit that 3-ball, and he throws it away. Throws it into the hands of Baylor Ainsworth. Gets it ahead to Kyle Miller. Miller bounces it up to Garcia. Blocked by Bozich. Wow, what awareness for the freshman. He turned it over, then came flying down and forced the issue, knocked the ball out of bounds off of an Aberdeen player, and gives it back. You know, Xander Jump's going to be the player of the game, but I love what I'm seeing out of freshman Joey Bozich. Here's Jump with it. Kicking it over. The Hobucket can't do anything with it. Check that. It is number 21, James Monroe, who's checked into the game. And held ball. 3 players hit the floor. Marcus Hale, Monroe, and I think it was Jump were down on the floor scrumming after that ball. Isaac Garcia ready to check back into the game for the Bobcats. He'll give a break to Julian Garcia. Garcia had a nice third quarter. He hit for a 3-pointer and completed a 3-point play. Now the steal as the ball is inbounded, and Baylor Ainsworth, who's had a nice game for the Bobcats, comes away with it. Ainsworth send it over to Kyle Miller, 3 for 3. It's off the back iron, and the rebound down into the hands of Jalen Hobucket. Hobucket will give it up. Xander Jump with it. Subs ready to come back in. Devin Wonderly Leonard and Patrick Walsh ready to check back into the game for the Bobcats and the Grizzlies. Outside, Court Gordon Find Lorton Watkins down low. Lets Monroe get a shot off and has a shot blocked. And then Lorton Watkins comes away with the rebound. Gets it over to Xander Jump. Dribbles outside. Three-pointer on the way for Bosic. Back iron, no good. Rebound, though, by Lorton Watkins. And a loose ball foul going to be called against, I believe, the Bobcats. So keep possession with the Grizzlies. Foul going to be called against Aiden Baker, the 5'9 freshman. Again, Kevin Wonderly Leonard and Patrick Walsh will check into the game, giving Baker and Lorton Watkins a break. 62-34 with 5 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the game. All Grizzlies. Kevin Wonderly Leonard enters the game and immediately takes over the point and loses the ball. Isaac Garcia comes away with it. Will push up and against a double team and then has the ball kicked out of bounds. They will say off of the Nike of a Grizzly player. And Kyle Miller will stand baseline and handle the inbound. Miller. It's a go out to Garcia. Three-pointer on the way. It's over the top, no good. The rebound, though, by Patrick Walsh. Walsh gets his hands on it. It's a go outside to Kyle Miller. Miller will enter in low to Walsh. Walsh up against Monroe. Can't finish. Gets the rebound. Puts the shot back up. No good. And the rebound by Taylor Ainsworth. And Ainsworth is fouled as he will go to the line to shoot. Ainsworth is on the day 1 for 3 from the free throw line. I've got him at, unofficially, 13 points on the day. Okay, and even 14 with the free throw, and he does. But he's shooting 2 of them. Sub for the Grizzlies, Alejandro Otwell will check into the game. Give a break to our player of the game, Xander Jump. 24 points for the junior. Next shot for Ainsworth is up and no good, and a whistle. Fighting for the rebound. Foul going to be called against the Bobcats. It's going to go against Marcus Hale, his first personal. 7th-team foul. So it will be free throws from here on out for both teams now as Jabron Brooks will check into the game. Hale will go to the bench. That is now his second personal. 7th-team foul. So the Grizzlies are in the double bonus. The Grizzlies in the single bonus and the Bobcats in the double bonus. Shot was no good for Monroe. Ainsworth brings it back ahead over to Isaac Garcia, going all the way with it. Now drives in. Lets it go outside to Walsh. Walsh back over to Miller. Pulls up. Miller gets in, go to Jabron Brooks. Jabron going to drive in on Monroe. Gets his own rebound as he misses the shot. Goes back up with it, and Jabron can't finish. Patrick Walsh with the rebound. Kicks it back outside. Kyle Miller in low to Jabron. Outside to Garcia. 3-ball on the way. Front iron. No good. Rebound. Patrick Walsh gets it. It's the Bobcats eating into that deficit on rebounds on that possession. Had about 3 or 4 offensive rebounds on that possession alone. Eventually, though, the ball is knocked over the end line and goes out of bounds. Court Gordon will check into the game. And Jalen Hobucket will head out. Kevin Wonderly Leonard will bring it ahead for the Grizzlies. It's 62-35. Hoquiam with the lead, and the ball knocked away. Garcia almost comes away with it, but Kevin Wonderly Leonard gets it. Tries to pass in low to Monroe. Monroe gets it over to Alejandro Atwell. Back up to Kevin Wonderly Leonard at the top of the key. Loses a handle on it. It's loose in the backcourt now. Kevin Wonderly Leonard comes away with it again. Shot clock winding down. Wonderly Leonard drives all the way, but they can't finish. Now a whistle as the scrum for the rebound had Monroe going after it. And the foul is going to be called against the Bobcats. Isaac Garcia, his first personal, and the 8th-team foul. And James Monroe will go to the line to shoot. Well, next up for the Grizzlies, they will be home on the 15th against the Tahola Chipwins in a 1A versus B matchup. Gio Brugiani will check into the game, give a break to Ainsworth. Next shot is up, and that one is no good for Monroe. Having trouble from the free throw line. Rebound, though, fought for. Alejandro Atwell comes away with it. In low to Monroe. Monroe as it goes through his hands, and Patrick Walsh comes away with the steal. Carried it, and there they got the call. Yep, and the call of travel against Patrick Walsh as he came back down in transition. kind of had the ball cupped against his hand. And a timeout going to be called by the Grizzlies. And while they take a break, so will we. 62-35, Hoquiam leads Aberdeen at the 3:32 mark of the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this timeout on 1490 KWOK. Whether back at Sam Ben Jim, Ian Cope on the call, Rick Anderson with the stats, studio producer Ross Davis sending the game down the line to you from the South Aberdeen home of Grace Harbor's Sports Authority, 1490 KWOK. Glad to be with you here. Daniel Hargrove will be back on the call on the 22nd as the Montesano ladies travel to Tumwater. Look forward to hearing how that one goes. Be a good matchup coming up later this season as well between Montesano and Aberdeen in ladies basketball. It should be a fun one. So the Aberdeen ladies off to, I believe, an undefeated start to the season. Forward to seeing what they do against Hoquiam in their second timeout. Starting off out of the timeout, the Bobcats get a turnover and will have possession. Jabron Brooks drives in on the right side, loses a handle on it, coming away with the steal, but then a turnover. Kyle Miller comes up with the steal as Joey Bozic stole the ball again, his third steal of the game, but then threw it away to Kyle Miller, and Miller loses a handle on it over the end line. It's knocked out of bounds, though, by the Bobcats. Kyle Miller will handle it. Pass and low to Jabron Brooks. Watching Kyle play, he is not have a lot of touch on his passes. He is really ripping them in to basically anyone he's passing the ball to, whether it was Dawson, Walsh, or Jabron Brooks and Lowe. Those entry passes are humming in there at about 1,000,000 miles an hour. Jabron is going to come out of the game a little disgusted, does not like this outcome. Kyle Miller will take the ball, come up to the top of the key, let a shot go. Can't finish. Dawson with the rebound. Gets it back out to Kyle Miller. Dribbling all the way with it. Passes in low to Dawson. Can't finish. Ball is loose. Still loose. And Dawson comes away with it down on the baseline. And a foul. And we're into a little bit of a hack a Grizzly, hack a Bobcat situation right now. Both teams are into the bonus. So we're seeing lots of free throws. It'll slow down the pace of this game as we get into now under 3 minutes to play. 62-35 all Hoquiam. Bobcats closed a deficit down to 7-6, and then the Grizzlies floored it and took off, and took a 16-9 lead at the end of the first quarter and haven't looked back. Kenny Dawson missed the first free throw, makes the second one. 62-36 your score. Kevin Wonderly Leonard in there along with most of the subs now for the Hoquiam Grizzlies. Wonderly Leonard will have it, has the ball knocked away by Isaac Garcia, the freshman dribbling in, trying to go all the way with it, can't finish. Tried to go up with a fancy scoop shot, but couldn't finish. I'm telling you, we got two freshmen here, folks, who are putting on a little bit of a show and showing what the future holds. Isaac Garcia, and then for the Bobcats, and then Joey Bozic for the Grizzlies, both have come off the bench and performed very well for their respective teams. Ball was knocked out of bounds. It will be Bobcat basketball. Garcia up fake for a shot, then lets a hanging teardrop go, and he hits. Isaac Garcia with 7, making 8 second-half points for the freshman. Joey Bozic, who's been good off the bench for the Bobcats, or for the Grizzlies, will let it go into Alejandro Atwell at the top of the key outside to Court Gordon. Here's 5. Bozic for 3. Rattles in and out. Willpower could have got it down. The wishes of the Grizzlies student section would have had that one go down. Garcia will answer in transition. Over to Patrick Walsh. He couldn't hit, but Walsh comes flying all the way back down. No one picked him up in transition, and he goes up with the rebound and the putback. Grizzlies will feed it in low. Bozic has it stolen by Patrick Walsh, and in turn has it stolen or knocked away. Garcia gets it. He'll step into a 3. No good. Rebound again by Walsh. Over the end line, off of the Bobcats, and it will be Grizzly basketball with 1 minute and 36 seconds to play. 62-40 your score. The Grizzlies with the lead. They'll move to 4-1 on the season. The Bobcats will fall to 1-4. Their next game will be on the 14th against Tumwater here at Sam Ben Gym, so it doesn't get any easier for the Bobcats. Grizzlies turn the ball over on the baseline. Bobcats come back with possession. Ambrosiani with it. Will stop. Shoot over James Monroe. Hangs it off the front iron, and the rebound by Monroe. 1:14 to play. Bozic goes behind his back, loses the defensive Kyle Miller. Over to Alejandro Atwell. Over to Court Gordon. Find Joey Bozic on the right side wing. Bozic will try to feed it in low. Throws it away, and a whistle. Going to call against Patrick Walsh, the Bobcat defender. Stuck a hip out as Alejandro Atwell was running through the paint. And that's the third personal against the Bobcat junior. And at the line, shooting two will be Alejandro Atwell, the 5'9" senior guard. It's Julian Garcia ready to check back into the game for the Bobcats. Jeff Nini with some words of instruction to freshman Joey Bozic. Shot by Atwell is up and good. Kyle Miller will check out. Garcia will head in. It's like Aiden Baker heading back in for the Bobcats as well, as Coach Brandon Brooks is going to empty his bench. Patrick Walsh will check out. It's a nice hand from Brooks as he comes to the bench. Shot by Atwell is up and down. So 63-40 with 1 minute to play. Isaac Garcia will bring the ball ahead, going all the way with it. Freshman hits it. Isaac Garcia coast to coast. 10 points for the freshman, all of them here in the second half. Is Gavin Wonderly Leonard taking the pass from Bozic, letting it go, can't finish. Rebound by the Bobcats. Garcia going all the way with it. He has not made a shot he doesn't like, and why not? He's hitting every one of them. 12 points for the freshman. Bozic will bring it ahead. 30 seconds to play in the ball game. Grizzlies will win. Bobcats have had a few players have shown something in this one, though. Joey Bozic with it with 23 seconds to play. In low. Court Gordon can't finish. Monroe with the rebound and the basket. And James Monroe into the scorebook with his first bucket. 13 seconds to play. Bobcats, Isaac Garcia will bring it ahead. Says he wants a screen. Gets it. Defense picks him up, though. Drives down. Step back. Three-pointer around the way. Yes! Isaac Garcia at the buzzer hits. And the Aberdeen Bobcats will fall 66-47 to the Hoquiam Grizzlies. But Isaac Garcia kind of takes over in the second half for Aberdeen and gives Bobcat fans a glimpse of things to come. What a fourth quarter for Garcia. 9 points for the freshman. He finishes with 15 on the night. I believe a game high 15 points as the Aberdeen Bobcats fall to the Hoquiam Grizzlies, who jumped out to a first quarter lead, never looked back, and go on to victory. A final score again of 66-47. Let's take a 3-minute timeout, Ross. When we come back, we'll have our player of the game announcement, final stats, and we'll wrap it up for the holiday season here at Sam Ben Gym. Again, your final score, the Hoquiam Grizzlies 66, the Aberdeen Bobcats 47. We will be back after this 3-minute timeout on 1490 KWOK. These 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24.